Lisa Denae Live starts now, only on Stunner Radio, the heart and soul of the culture.
This show is sponsored in part by Flat Fee Tax Prep and Services, offering quality tax preparation, serving clients nationwide. For more information, visit www.flatfeecreditandtax.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Hi guys, it is your girl Lisa Denae. You are now tuned into Lisa Denae Live. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode number 52. On this episode, we're going to be talking about how hookup culture has redefined dating. That's a heavy one, right, you guys? Yes, how hookup culture has redefined dating. So, what is hookup culture? You wonder what is hookup culture? Well, if you don't know what hookup culture is at this point, I'm going to say maybe perhaps you're living under a rock or something. But hookup culture is basically people hooking up. So people hook up, it's casual sex, there's no emotions involved, there's no commitment involved, and most of the time there's no relationship involved. You're not trying to get to know the person, you're just trying to get in where you fit in and get it in. So that is hookup culture, people. That's what it is. That's what hooking up is. So when we say culture, culture is, what most people are doing. So everything has a culture. Dating has a culture. Your workplace has a culture. Church has a culture. So now hook up, there is a such thing as hookup culture. So let's get into it for a little bit. Before I get started, I do want to say shout out to all of my listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for the feedback I've been getting on some of the past shows, especially the one on energy. You guys really rock with me on energy. I'm so happy that you enjoyed that show. If you did not see the show on energy and energetic connection, go check it out. Okay, go check it out and let me know what you think. Now, this episode, we're going to be talking about how hookup culture has redefined dating. So I'm going to date myself a little bit and let you guys know that I'm a 70s, 80s baby. I was born in 1972. So I know I look young and youthful, but your girl 49 years old, meaning damn near 50. So when I was coming up, dating was actual thing. You know what I'm saying? You met somebody, if you like them, you were attracted to them, they asked you out. You'd go out to dinner or you'd go out for drinks or whatever. When you're young, you weren't going out for drinks, but you'd go out to a movie or a play, you go out to a concert, you get to know each other, you'd spend time with each other. And so the whole goal of dating when I was growing up was to get to know someone in hopes of someday marrying them or having some sort of a long-term relationship. That is no longer what dating is. And I do believe that hookup culture has redefined dating. So we know that the pandemic redefined dating because we were locked in, and a lot of us were locked in with people we didn't even much like. So dating was put on hold for a lot of people, especially myself. So that kind of redefined how we date. Most people have to date online now. Online dating is not just for people who don't go out anymore. So now online dating is so much more the norm because that's what we have. That's what we have now. We don't really get an opportunity to see each other as much as we used to. You don't meet people at church anymore or the grocery store. You go in and out and you get what you need and you keep it moving. So online dating is a thing. It's legitimate now. It used to be if you met somebody online, you'd be like, let's tell people we met at, somewhere else, because people didn't want to be known for dating online. But now online dating is it. It is a thing. It's somewhat the norm. But what I want to talk about is hookup culture. So let's get into it, you guys. And if you have some thoughts on this, please put your thoughts in the comment. I want to hear what you have to say about hookup culture. Maybe you like hookup culture. Hey, ain't no judgment here. Lisa Denae Live is a judgment-free zone. We don't judge here. So put in the comments. Let me know what you think. Talk back to me tonight. Are you down with the hookup culture? Is that something that you prefer? Or are you actually, if you're single, looking for love? Now, if you're not single, don't even much comment, okay? I ain't got time for your drama, okay? Just listen quietly. But to the single people, let's get into it. Let's talk about hookup and hookup culture. So I'm going to just say this. For me, dating was never an issue because I got married very young. And many of you know I've been married most of my life. I've been married so much longer than I've been single. So for me, getting back into the dating world, into my 40s was very weird because I'm used to, if a guy likes you, if a guy is interested in you, he will ask you out. First of all, he's asked for your number. You talk on the phone a little bit. He'll ask you out, and then the next thing you know, you're dating. You're in a relationship because you like each other's company. Now, I want to introduce my special guest for tonight. She's going to join us because we talk about this a lot off camera, off the show. So you guys, I want you to help me welcome T Baby. She is here with me tonight. You know her from Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. And so let's bring on my girl T Baby.
What's up? What's
Hey,
up?
T-Baby.
Hey.
Hey, you looking good tonight?
Well, we gotta always stay prepared, honey.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Doing something. So I wanted to talk tonight about hookup culture.
Oh,
You know, we both are single. We're single girls. You know, we've been having our hot girl summer, our hot girl winter, our hot girl fall. We've
all
been
seasons, baby. All seasons.
all season. So I was just talking about how when we were growing up, dating was so different. If somebody liked you, they asked you out.
Yes, we had a
And
conversation.
they would even ask your parents,
We had a
if they,
conversation.
right?
Right. You had a conversation.
Yes, but now it's different. So what do you think about hookup culture, and have you experienced a difference in the dating scene since, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago?
Absolutely. Now, well, I can use myself as an example. I've gone on 3 dates in the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, what are we doing? And
Yeah,
so there's like no conversation. There's a minimal conversation, and there's an assumption about what you are willing to do when they've already made up their mind, but they've not had a conversation with you.
and see, that's what I mean by hookup culture,
Right.
because people are used to hooking up that it's almost kind of like, I don't need to know you. I don't need to know what you like. I don't care about your favorite color. I don't care how many kids you got, how your day was. Can we get it in? You
Right.
know?
Right. Right. And that's not cool because you're exchanging energies. And I don't want your negative energies, anything that you're packing with you, keep it to yourself.
Absolutely.
Heal,
Yes.
get yourself together,
Yes.
because I don't want to pack your energies. I'm dealing with my own stuff. So, and I don't think people take that into consideration. They used to call it soul ties, but
Yes.
it means both. It means the same thing. You exchange. It's an intimate act, and you exchange energies. But if I don't know you, we don't have a conversation. We just seen each other for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
5 minutes, and we don't talk after that, and you just randomly texting people. You just randomly texting me and telling me what to do, not even asking. you know and I
And
don't
see,
operate like that.
for me, the biggest difference that I see, of course, the casual nature of sex. That's a big difference. But I think the biggest difference that I see is, and I'm not talking about all men, so y'all don't get mad.
Right.
I see that a lot of men don't see the value in having a woman outside of sex.
Nope. Nope.
And
They can get the next one. They can get the next one.
yeah, that's sad. It used to be you want a woman to have a companion, to have
Right.
a person to go places with you, to build a family, build a home, have somebody to grow old with. Even finances was better then if you had two people. But now I think because people are more financially stable, They feel like I don't really
Right.
need, I don't really need a woman or I don't need a man. And what I've heard, I don't know this to be true, but what I've heard is that women are more into hooking up than men sometimes these days.
It can be on both sides. I've heard stories. I've heard stories from people I've encountered or people that I know that are single, and they're saying the same thing. Is they there's a plethora of women and there's a plethora of men that that's what they want, and so they perpetrate that they're wanting a relationship. They get you on the phone, they match with you having a conversation.
That part.
And they say relationship on the profile. You say, okay, well, let's meet up, let's have a drink, let's have dinner, da 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 da. You because you're trying to feel them out. Anything can be said in a chat and on the phone. Let me see how your energy is in person, because you and I, we gotta see that energy in
Right.
person. And so we get in person and we're talking, but they're moving past. They don't really want to have a conversation anymore. They're looking at what you look like. They're looking at how you dress. And then they're ready to move past whatever they thought they saw
But
online.
I think the thing that bothers me the most about that, and I have actually asked guys this, what makes you think I'm somebody you want to be with? Don't you have any type of criteria? Don't you have any type of standards? You just meet somebody based off their picture, you want to have sex with them? See that? I don't get that part.
I don't, and it has to be a mutual thing. For me, it's a connection.
Yes,
I know that
absolutely.
it's leading to a relationship. And
Yes,
I'm gonna wait a long, long time before we get to that point, because I'm still filling you out. I'm still seeing how you move with your friends, how you move with your family, things of that nature. What do you talk about the most? Who do you not mention?
yes. And
Because
see, for me, I don't necessarily have a time limit on it. And it sometimes it may not be a long time. It might be, it just depends on the feeling, the energy, the chemistry, the attraction. And
right,
it, I might be like, what you want. Be like Jill Scott, whatever, 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 whatever. Do you want some fish and grits?
right,
You actually figure out what you want.
right,
For me, it depends on the chemistry, but it can't be like at an initial meeting. Because
right.
the reason why I don't like it at an initial meeting is because, for one, you reduce yourself to just that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Say that again, because I don't think the people in the back.
Yes, you reduce yourself to just that. And see, I don't think this is my issue. And I knew that I was going to be very transparent on this show because I don't feel the need to hide nothing or lie about who I am. So for me, like I've told guys several times, if I have sex with you too early on before I have a connection with you, you won't be nothing to me. I would just be like, I wouldn't even revisit you.
Right.
And because you ain't had me yet, you don't know what I'm like. Yeah, okay. No, you need to allow me to build a connection with you, because if I don't have no connection, it's just like pulling out my toy. It ain't no different. I'm just getting, that's not what you really want.
I mean, B-O-B is what they call it.
Yes, boss.
They call it a B-O-B.
Stand in, that's fine, but you got to understand that's what you reduced yourself to,
Right.
because you
And
didn't allow me to build a connection with you. You didn't allow me to even like feel some type of anything towards you.
right. Right. Exactly. And that's it. That's it. I definitely agree with you there. There's no connection. For me it's intellect. I need to know how you think.
Yes, yes.
I need
Because
to know if your brain works.
yes, and that gets me every time. And if I have a man and he talking about his business and how he put things together and how he work and how he handle this and that, I just be looking dreamy eyed like, tell me more. And what else?
Right, exactly. And
I
that's the thing.
need
Right.
I need to feel some type of connection. So I think when people feel like we saying talking against hooking up, they think we talking against sex. I'm not talking against sex. What I'm talking against is casual sex. To me, I don't feel like it should be handled so casually.
Right. Because it's a like I said, it's an intimate act. And
Yeah,
once you enter that phase, there's no turning back. You can't go back and say, "Hey, can I have?" No, you can't get it back.
you
I
cannot.
you can't get your energy back. They now yours is intertwined with theirs. So whatever they're dealing with, you can actually feel it. You can sense it. You're carrying it now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We're gonna talk about that later in the show because I want to talk about the consequences of
absolutely.
a lot of hooking up because there's residual effects to a lot of hooking up. When you just go from person to person, you hook up with this person, and you hook up with this. There are some things that happen in your life, and there's some things that happen in your mental space and in your emotional space that I think people don't put any thought into that. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about some of the shenanigans that go on in hookup culture. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is ghosting.
Oh Lord.
Everybody knows about ghosting. Everybody knows what ghosting is.
Right.
I really feel ghosting is immature. I feel like now I'm not like I never ghosted nobody,
Right.
but I tried to give them the message before I had to ghost them. Like I don't like this is not going nowhere. We're not compatible. And so if they keep trying to talk to me, well then you know what it is. I'm gonna have to block you and I'm gonna have to ghost you.
Right.
But let's talk about the people who act like they all into you and then just fall off the face of the earth.
Absolutely. And I've that like the old people say that burns my ass.
Yes, it does. I have experienced that. And I think the first time I experienced it, it was like I was dating right after my divorce. So I was new back into the dating world. I didn't really know about ghosting.
Right.
So I had been talking to this guy. We were talking for like 2 or 3 months.
Oh yeah.
I thought I thought it was going well. You know, we had been to each other's house. We had, met each other's family even though it had only been a couple months.
Right.
And I know he just disappeared. I'm thinking, did he get locked up? What, because it could happen. Did he fall into some trouble? I mean, is he sick? What's going on? So I knew his sister. So I checked in on the sister and I was like, is he okay? She was like, girl, yeah. I mean, I just seen him the other day. He fine. So my thing with that was, what happened? You know what I'm saying? I was so confused. I wasn't hurt. I was more confused.
Right.
So, and then I realized I got ghosted. And I was
Right.
like, why did he just say he didn't want to talk to me anymore? Why didn't he just say
Right.
he was no longer interested? So I realized it was a strategy to it. So how do you feel about ghosting? And have you ever ghosted anyone or been?
I've done both. I've I've ghosted people, but like you, I've given the warning signs that this is not working. I've expressed my feelings when it comes to how things are going, and if they're not going like I want them to, I kind of like fall back. That's my thing. I'll fall back. I stop communicating. I used to block all the time. I don't block as much as I used to anymore. I kind of just fall back, no communication, no texting, no phone calls.
Yeah,
And I've been ghosted. And I was like you. I was questioning what was going on. I was lost. I was like, we had planned to go to dinner, and I'm calling, and no phone, no, the phone's not being answered, the texts aren't being answered. I'm like, what is going on? What did I do? And so now you're questioning yourself because
yeah,
you're trying to figure out, well, what did I say? What did I do wrong? It makes you start to self-evaluate
yeah. Which
when it's not
really,
really your fault.
it's not your fault. And that's what most people who are ghosted need to know. It's not your fault. If that person was not ready,
Absolutely.
they changed their mind. And that's it. Don't blame yourself. Don't feel guilty. Don't. and really don't chase after them. See, because sometimes
Absolutely not.
they want you to do.
Right.
I think that you should call and say, "What happened? What's wrong? What did I do? What happened to you?" And I refuse to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't
Right.
chase them. So I'm not going to chase nobody.
Right.
I also want to talk about something else that is kind of like ghosting, but this one really, would you say, burns my ass? This one really burns my ass. Worse than ghosting.
Mosting.
Mosting.
Annoying.
This is when dudes do the most at the beginning. So you at the first date, and they already giving you a ring. You like,
I've had that happen too.
well, they already calling you wifey. Or
Right.
and you at the first dinner and they slide a key to their house. And you're like, what's going on? They're just doing the most. They
Right.
just, you're the woman of my dreams. Oh, I'm so glad I found you. This is fate. This is destiny. They're about damn near ready to propose. And they do that because so that you can drop your guard
Right.
and
Quickly.
become comfortable with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you all this false security, this false sense of security, and this fake dedication and commitment. I'm all into you. We'll even give you their phone, baby. You can look through my phone. I ain't got no
Right.
passwords on my phone. I'm faithful. It's all about you. This how you know when it's mosting, when it don't make no sense. When it just don't make no sense. Because
Right.
what I learned is when they mosting, they setting you up for the ghosting.
Yep.
What they're gonna do is reel you in to give up that ass, and the next thing you know, you don't hear from them. And you like, well, what happened? You was about ready to give me a key to your house.
Right.
We was gonna get married. What happened? And you don't hear from them no more.
Right.
So to me, that's worse than ghosting because don't play with nobody emotions like that.
Right. Absolutely. I definitely agree. I've had a moster. Look, I've had a moster. And everything you said, I had. I had a key. I had a key to the car. I had a key to the house. I had jewelry, and it scared me. And I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is weird. And so I was like, no, I don't want that. I would, and then they would get angry.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is weird. Like, who gets mad because you don't want to take a key to their house, a key to their car, and you don't want to accept the jewelry?
Because mosting is a form of manipulation.
Right.
So when you're not down with the program, they realize I can't manipulate her. So now I'm out at her in anger.
Right.
And see, I've experienced mosting too. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time I experienced mosting, it confused the hell out of me.
Right. It is very confusing.
I went on a first date with a dude and he tried to buy me a car. And I was like,
Wow.
I need a car, but you don't have a Lexus. No, I don't have a Lexus. But I was like, you don't know me though. But a beautiful woman shouldn't be riding around in no Hyundai. I was like, now hold on, sir. Don't worry about your, ain't none of your business. Okay. I have a 2-year, 10,000-mile warranty on
Right.
my so don't sleep on Hyundai. But the point is, he was trying to buy me a car, and I was just like, we hadn't had sex or nothing. It was nothing. We just met each other.
Right.
He was trying to buy me a car. He wanted to introduce me to his mom. I was like, what is going on?
Right.
But the thing about it is, I was happy at first because I was like, wow, maybe this is the man of my dreams. Oh, I done got swept off my feet. Maybe it is love at first sight. Maybe he really do love me. And the man said he loved me, girl. I should have known that was mosting.
Right.
Like I said, you know it's mosting when it don't make sense.
Right.
So it don't make sense for somebody to say they love you and
Right.
they just met you.
Yep. They call it gaslighting now.
Well, it is gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think gaslighting can be a little more complicated because you got to actually know something about somebody to use something against them.
Right.
Try to turn things around in their head.
Right.
But see, it's all about what they're doing. They're just doing the most. They're giving you all this love and attention. It's showering you with attention. They
Right.
call every day. They text all through the day. As soon as they get that ass, you don't hear from them. You don't hear from them. You be like, what happened? They got a nickname for you and everything. You're like,
Right.
yeah. What? I thought we were gonna be together. You don't hear from him no more. Or it's like, girl, we just got together. What you mean? I just met you. Well, you was the one
Right.
who wanted to get married.
Right.
It's still a mind game.
Of course. Absolutely.
And I think it's part of hookup culture because some people are still uncomfortable with just playing hookup, so they have to play these little games.
Right. Absolutely. They do. It's
Mhm.
until they become comfortable with it.
And then they just straight up tell you, look, this ain't nothing but a hit and run. I'm just gonna hit it and go about my life.
Right.
So the other one I want to talk about is benching. I'm gonna keep
You
it
got
all
some good ones tonight.
I'm gonna keep it all the way real. I've been benching. I have been somebody that did benching because benching is like when you got a whole squad of dudes and you put one on the bench until you're ready for them. So, or women, men do this all the time.
Right. They do.
I used to do benching because it's like I need a pair and a spare. I need two to deal with, and I need one on the side. But that's when I was a little younger and in between marriages, and I just was trying to find my way. But
Right.
what I didn't like is when I became on the receiving end of benching.
Right. Right.
It hurt.
It does because it feels different. You're in the shoes
Um,
now. You're wearing the shoes. They're a little snug. They're a
yeah.
little tight. They not broken in.
Benching, the reason why benching is different from ghosting and mosting, and it really is not even as part of hookup culture, because a person can bench you for years. You could be dealing with somebody on and off for years because
Yep.
they quiet and it ain't your turn yet. So they call you in when it's your turn. And here you come running. Okay, I haven't seen you in 6 months, but hey, let's reconnect. I missed you too.
Right.
And so I feel like the reason why people play all these games is because, and this is leading to my next point, people have become emotionally unavailable.
That's right.
So it's almost like a person can deal with you for years and still not have no emotional connection to you.
Yeah. Because they've cut them off. They permanently cut them off. If they had them, they masked the emotion and they never showed you or told you. And they've moved past what it was. And so yeah.
So what do you think? What is your opinion on this emotional unavailability? What do you think causes this, especially in women? Because I see that now we're seeing this a lot in women too.
I think it's a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Um it has to do with a lot of trauma and unresolved trauma. Let's start there. Unresolved trauma that you've kept pushing down and it's impacted, and so now it's at the bottom, and the new trauma is on top, and then the next new trauma is on top, and so it's got lost in the shuffle. And so because you keep pushing it down, because I gotta take care of my family, I got other responsibilities, I don't have time to sit and deal with my emotions right now because I gotta go to work, I gotta be the strong face. I'm a
Right.
black, and as black people, we been through a lot of trauma. So right. And so I think that has a lot to do with it too, is because as a black woman, you're not if they see you crying, what's wrong? What's really going on? We're the last to be thought about, we're the last to be taken care of. And we're expected to be strong, and we're expected to dust ourselves off and keep going regardless of what we have going on, because we come in there with that strong face. We're not really talking about what's going on with us. And so that can cause you to become emotionally unavailable to your children, to your friends, even to yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you do it yourself first, because you that's inner.
Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that, but that is a very, very good point because what I think about when I think about emotionally unavailable is, like you said, unresolved trauma, and also the fact that sometimes you're ridiculed for having emotions, even
Right.
if if you only been dating somebody for 6 months and something happens to them or you break up and you feel bad. It's like people like, well, you only knew him for 6 months. What that got to do with anything?
Right.
If you had a connection with somebody, your emotions are involved.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
learn to just turn it off.
We do. We do. We do. I've been guilty of that. I've had it brought to my attention when my mom died, and then when my dad passed. It was so much at one time, and it was overwhelming. Um, and it's just trying to process all that at one time is not something that's unexpected, and you never thought at this point in your life that you would be going through, and
Yeah,
you trying to process. I was trying to process every single thing, and so I was like, "Ugh, I don't have time, you
yeah,
know. And so and that's not good because it comes up later on in a different capacity when something else triggers you, and it might be worse than what if you had dealt with the emotion at that particular moment.
right. And when you said that, it made me think about when you are starting something new with somebody. So when you meet someone and you're trying to get to know them, I don't know about you. I'm just gonna speak for my
Okay.
when you feel an attraction to them, your emotions get involved. And
Absolutely.
what do you say? Nah, nah, I'm not gonna do this.
Right.
I'm not
Exactly.
gonna do this. No, because I don't know this person. I'm not trying to get hurt again. So I think it's a protection thing that we do too. We become emotionally unavailable to protect our feelings.
Right. Right. It's a guard.
It is, but I think it gets worse if you don't deal with it.
Right.
See, for me, I let people know up front. I don't want to get my feelings involved in nothing. So if you're not really serious, don't even much fool with me.
Right. And that's a good conversation to have, but everybody's not willing to have that conversation. They're willing to keep going on with whatever you guys have going on with each other and never address what the emotions are in the room. And you can pretty much tell people's body language,
Mhm.
people's conversation with you. You can and the things that they're asking of you. So if a person likes to hug you, that's a energy exchange. And
Yes,
people don't understand that that's an energy exchange, and that that for you and I, that's our love language. So
absolutely. I was gonna say that.
that's our love language. I
Yes,
hugging somebody is completely different than just shaking their hand. You know,
yes, it is.
yeah.
Especially some big, strong, dark chocolate somebody. Jesus, Lord, where's my coconut Amsterdam when I need it? Listen, you are so right. I'm glad you brought that up because for me, physical touch and quality time are both my top love languages. And so when I spend time with somebody repeatedly and we touching and hugging and loving on each other, baby, we go together. Okay? I'm gonna need you to understand this. We go together because my feelings get involved.
Right.
I'm
Hmm.
not going to change who I am and become emotionally unavailable
Right.
just because I'm trying to protect myself. So I will just cut that stuff off quick.
Me too. Me too. Because it becomes um it kind of sets like it becomes a trigger to you because you feel like that person is wasting your time or playing games with you because you've already expressed, like you said, you've expressed how you feel and what you're looking for, and they okay, well, we'll talk about it. We've already talked about it. It's pretty much showing up in our body language. So there's not is nothing more we need to talk about because we've already expressed it with the time we've been spending together, ample
Right,
amount of time, you know?
right. So I want to dive into the consequences continually hooking up, but we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and talk about the consequences of hookup culture. Y'all don't know where we'll be right back at Denae Live, and I got my girl T Baby with me, and we'll be right back, you guys.
Hey, it's your girl Lisa Denae, and I want to tell you about a product that has changed my life. Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. Rain products are infused with a Nobel Prize-winning material called graphene. It's the graphene strip that provides the various health benefits that can improve your quality of life during that time of the month. Listen, I've been very loyal to a certain brand of feminine products, but I've never experienced the results I get with Rain products. The difference is in the graphene strip. Using Rain products has totally eliminated the painful cramps I experience, and it can also help balance your body's pH, eliminate harmful bacteria, and help fight fatigue. Graphene moves heat away from your core to keep you cool and comfortable. Ladies, it's time to upgrade your feminine care with products that not only offer protection, but also improve your health and wellness. Place your order today and receive your premium sanitary napkins delivered directly to your door. Visit www.drfcare.com to make your purchase today. And don't forget to mention that your girl Lisa Denae and Stunner Radio sent you.
All right, we are back. We are talking about how hookup culture has redefined dating. And if you are not single, I'm sure you're like, what are they talking about? Because I'm glad I'm not out there. And let me just tell you, you are glad.
Yes. I'm glad for you. You don't want to be in this pool.
Ooh, the pool got piss in it, that's they say.
Lots.
So we have been talking about ghosting, mosting, benching, and people that are emotionally unavailable.
Right.
And I also want to talk about the consequences and the side effects of hookup culture. So for me, one of the biggest side effects that I see of hookup culture is that, first of all, people don't even know how to relate normally anymore. They don't even know how to relate normally anymore. So you can meet somebody and they can't even hold a conversation with you.
Nope.
That's weird. Like, how do you deal with that?
I don't do well with no conversation. It bores me.
Me either. And we're talking about sex, and then they, whoo, yes, I like it like this, I like it like that. And you're like, well, hold on, partner. And I don't even much need to know that yet.
Right.
But that's one of the consequences of being so much involved in the hookup culture, is that you get to the point where you don't even know how to date anymore. You don't even know how to actually, I've had people who will literally meet me on a online dating site and say, can we meet? I'm like, oh, sure, we can have a meet and greet. Yeah, let's go grab coffee or something. Well, I was just thinking we just meet at Kroger or meet at, what? You buy me some groceries? What are we talking here? What are we talking about? Like, no,
Right.
we're in the parking lot. That's a no.
Absolutely.
If you can't take me on a date, there's nothing for me here. There's no need for us to even interact if you can't take me on a date. Like, what is this? Miriam, Miss Mimi, she said that's unfortunately common for most nowadays. I know, right?
She's absolutely correct. They want you to come to your house, their house. And I'm like, and it's like common, and I'm like, no, because for me, energy transfers everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I was invited and told after the fact that the homeboys were there. So my red flag instantly radar went off, and I was like, no. Furthermore, I wasn't going in the first place. Let's start there. I wasn't going to come to your house. I don't care that you've been drinking. That's not my problem. You're a grown person. You should be able to handle your liquor. And if you knew that we were going to meet, your consumption should have stopped at some point since you were off so that you could sober up. But since you chose not to do that, I don't care. I'm going to make you come out anyway. That's what I'm
see, to me, this is one of the other consequences of the hookup culture that I don't like. It's almost like people have started to expect less. So
Absolutely.
expectations are much lower now. I mean, when I was single before, when I was much younger, if a guy liked you, it would be he would be going out his way to let you know he liked you. He
Yep.
gonna do you stuff. He gonna take you out. He trying to buy tickets to concerts. He wants you to go to. I mean, he trying to figure out what's your favorite flower, what you like
Right.
to eat. You know, actually taking you out on dates. Miss Mimi Miriam says the definition of dating is so misconstrued now, and not people are afraid of being alone. They settle,
And
and
I've heard that too.
that is the truth. And she says that part. But see, I know that people are afraid to be alone, and we're not meant to be alone. So
No.
we're not meant to be alone. So we all need some type of companionship. We all want a partner in life. We all want to be in love, and we want to feel loved.
Right.
But when you engage in hookup culture long enough, you start to expect a lot less out of people. It's like you get excited because the man paid for the date. And I'm kind of like, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm just saying. You asked me out, so that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. It is so crazy you brought that up. I was listening to, I'm always listening to something. I'm always getting insight. That was a conversation I heard, I was privy to, that was live. And it was a lady that was in the live. She was married, but she didn't come off like she was married. And
Mm.
you could kind of tell that there's some discrepancies in the marriage because she kept wiping her eyes, trying to conceal the cry because the major hype was talking about. He said, I'm a protector. I'm supposed to take care of my lady. She's on a pedestal. I'm gonna keep her on that pedestal. I'm gonna pay for the dinner. Even if she invited me out, I'm
Oh,
gonna pay.
okay.
I won't allow her to pay because I feel disrespected because she wants to pay. A man is supposed to pay. And that's another misconception too, is
Well,
men have been expecting women to do it now.
because women, and I know y'all gonna not like this, but women, we are to blame for some of this
Right.
because the more women will allow this, the more men do it. And then by the time they get to me and you, they used to it. And they like, what you mean? You can't come over my house. That's what we
Right.
do. Women do, they come over my house. But for me, it's like I want to know you. I want to know that you're even worth my time. I
Right.
told him all this and he got mad. I said, I don't even know if you are good. I don't even know if the sex with you is good. And life is too short for bad sex. That's one of my favorite sayings. I wish I would engage in sex. I'm not compatible with that. Okay. I'm allergic to it. It give me hives. I ain't gonna be able to do it. So I need to know you a little more. And then the thing about for me, when I feel you and I got some feelings for you, I ain't gotta be in love with you, but
Right.
just have some type of connection. Oh, it's good, good. Cause I'm not giving you the bargain basement sex. I'm giving it. Don't. I'm just saying. I'm putting it all on the table, baby. I'm letting you feel my energy. And I'm putting all of it into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why would you want to engage in that too early when I don't have no feelings for you? I don't even know you like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like everybody's missing out. Everybody's missing out on an experience that could be much better.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Miriam said, yes, life is way too short for that.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Mimi. I say that all the time because first of all, how long do we wait to get grown? 18 years. And I already knew when I was a child, that was like one thing I will not do when I get grown is deal with something I don't want to deal with. I don't
Right.
care if it's a job, a man, a car, a place to live, whatever it is. If I don't want to deal with it, I'm not going to deal with it. So getting grown and getting into the dating world, I was really shocked that people expect you to do something that you're not ready to do yet, and then have the nerve to get mad at you.
That part.
Mind games will say, "Oh, I guess you ain't grown. We grown around here. We grown,
Well,
baby."
yeah.
I can show you my ID. I'm not understanding what you mean. I'm fully grown and fully developed. Okay, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Right.
I got all my mental capacity. But I think for me, the biggest consequence that I could see to hookup culture is the love. It's no love.
Right.
You
That
see
part.
so
Say that
many
again.
people who have hooked up for years and years and years, and by the time they get a certain age, you just grab the first person and just go on and settle down. But you didn't allow yourself to fall in love.
Right.
You didn't allow yourself to grow in love. I don't really like the word fall in love because it's kind of like an accident. You fail. No, I really feel like you grow into love with a person.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when you hooking up all over the place, you don't allow yourself to grow in love.
Right.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's the biggest consequence of hookup culture is that you see so many people that's together, but they don't love each other like that.
You can tell. You definitely can tell.
You can tell. So the question is, can you still find love in modern dating?
I believe it's possible if you it's like a it's like a needle in a haystack,
Yes,
you
it is.
know.
She
It,
said being grown is having a meaningful relationship, not just a hookup. Exactly.
right. Right.
Exactly. They try to change it around on you to make you feel some type of way.
Right. I think it's possible to find love. You can't be rushing. You got to be patient. Um and if that person isn't patient with you and wanting to truly get to know you, you move on to the next person. You don't waste your time keep trying to spoon feed somebody that I'm important, that I'm worth getting to know. No, you don't have to do that. My presence is enough.
Oh, come on now.
Patient.
That is another consequence of hookup culture is that you start to question your value. You start to wonder, is that all I'm worth? Is that all my value amounts to is sex? Is that all you really need out of this interaction? It's just to get off because baby, you can really just go jack off. I'm just saying.
Right.
Or go get it somewhere else. It's a pussy buffet out here. They're giving it out free. So you ain't got much bother me for it.
Right.
Something more meaningful. I have actually told a dude that. He said, I don't got that buffet. He said, it ain't no buffet for me. I said, well, you ain't in the right crowds, baby, because it's out here plentiful.
Right.
And they ain't
It's
even
right there.
yeah. And then for men who another thing I don't like about hookup culture, it makes men misunderstand their value also. Because now men feel like, shoot, I give you this dick. Well, you gonna be you like, what? And you ain't got nothing no other man ain't got.
Right.
That's all you offering me.
Mm-hmm. That's
Your
right.
value is more than that because I want to get to know you, your values, your
Valid.
personality, your energy, your spirit. Who are you for real?
Right.
What makes you sad? And I don't be robbed of that because all you think you got to offer is penis.
Right.
So I feel like that's a huge consequence of hookup culture.
Right.
Both people, and even in same-sex relationships, you got both people questioning their value, and that's not good.
No.
Okay, Miss Mimi said it come a dime a dozen. The D comes a dime a dozen. Let me tell you something. I told my son, I said, let me tell you something. It done got so bad out here. I could be dying of COVID and need to be on a respirator, and a man, I'll say, you want some dick? Man, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
It's okay. It's okay, baby.
I'm in the chair and you still trying to whip it out. It's like, yeah, I'm good on that. You know?
Yeah, it's a challenge.
It is a challenge. But that's the reason why I wanted to talk about this on this show, and hopefully we're going to get some men to come on and talk about how hookup culture affects them, because the crazy part is every man ain't with it. Every man ain't trying to hook up.
Nope.
Some men trying to find somebody they can connect with and find a meaningful relationship. But then what happens if they ain't trying to jump in the bed right away? The woman like, what's wrong with you?
Right. They make assumptions.
Yeah, you ain't trying nothing with me. You don't want me. You don't find me attractive. And the man like, I'm trying to get to know you.
Right. Trying to have a conversation.
Yeah. So hookup, it affects everybody.
Absolutely. It definitely does. It's a trickle down effect. We get washed in with the other people.
I do agree with you, Miriam. She says, seriously, we should know our value before trying to have relationships. That is very true. But I will say this, even when you know your value, if you run into so many of these encounters, you'll start to question it.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you there. When you are self-confident, you are self-love, you love yourself to death, you've been in your body for a long time, and you know the ins and outs of your emotional state, your mental state, your spiritual state, and then you keep running into these people who keep offering you the minimum.
Yeah.
Then
It'll,
like you say, you start questioning. You like, well, what kind of energy am I giving off?
yes. Yes. Yes.
I know
You
I've done that recently. I was like, well, what kind of energy am I giving off? I know I'm not coming in there with this, my dress is long enough, I'm not, my boobs ain't super out, and I'm not sitting there licking stuff off of a bottle or my fingers or anything like that. I'm not doing any of that. And so I'm processing it because I'm an intelligent person and I'm mentally process stuff. So it confuses me. So I'm really trying to understand.
absolutely. That's why I say it'll make you question your value because you know you're a good person. And you will think to yourself, why would somebody, you know, risk losing a good person for a piece of ass? It just makes me wonder, like,
Right.
what's really going on? So you do start to question your own value, but I want to encourage people out there because it's hard out here if you single.
Right.
But if you single, you might as well go on and hit up Bedroom Candy. Hello, a shameless plug. Holla at your girl if you need some bedroom candy. But you gotta get some, you gotta do something because I mean it's almost impossible to get past the whole big elephant in the room is we gonna get it in,
Right.
so for me, I think it's important if you're really looking for love in this modern time in the midst of hookup culture, we're going to give you some tips. For me, my main tip is this: stick to your guns. Do not come down from your standards. You have to hold your standards high, uphold your standards no matter who come down on their standards.
Right. That's right.
I don't care if people come down, I don't care if people tell you, oh, that's why you're single. Because people have told me that. Oh, that's why you're single. Your standards too high. I don't believe that. I don't
Right.
believe I'm gonna stick to my guns. My other tip is take some time to get to know yourself and really spend time with yourself, really love on yourself, and know exactly what it is that you want in a mate. Because see, sometimes some of us may haven't come to us because we don't really know what we want.
Right.
We know what we don't want. And so we focus on our mind, we so focus on what we don't want. What we
Right.
don't want is the thing that's showing up.
That's right.
So you got to start focusing on what you do want.
That's right.
And that's how you bring it into your life. For me, I have lately really started to focus on the fact that I want a businessman. I want someone who understands entrepreneurship because it's hard when you're dealing with somebody who don't understand it and you're in business. But before, I never even focused on that. I was just like, I want somebody honest. I want them to be, faithful, fine, of course, dark, of course. But I never even thought about the fact that I would like to be with someone who understands running your business. And
Right.
so now that I'm focused more on that. That's what's coming into my life. And I think that's going to be one of my main tips for you tonight. If you're trying to actually find love in this state that we're in, you really have to focus on what it is that you want out of a mate. And so what tips do you have, baby? Because we in this boat. This is the boat we
No, no. And this boat is it be rocky sometimes. Yeah. it be rocky, and then sometimes it gets stalled, So I think I will have to steal some of yours. So mine would be stick to your guns. Um,
Mhm.
listen to the red flags because they're showing you and they're telling you. That will be my second one. That people are absolutely gonna show you before you go out on a date who they
Yeah,
are, what they're about, their conversation. Yes, yes.
yeah,
Everyone says that part of being equally yoked and being honest about what you want and need. Exactly, and that's my thing is being honest with yourself. I mean, like you said, getting to know yourself. If you run into somebody and they're saying they want kids and you
yeah.
don't waste their time and don't let them waste yours. If you
Right,
know that your children are grown and you have no intentions on dealing with somebody who does not have children and they have the expectation of wanting them, don't match with them.
right.
Be-
You're not.
you're not you're not
And
compatible.
that leads me to how I feel about the fact that sometimes you don't even really much know what you want. So again, you have to be honest about that too. You just gotta say, like, I don't know yet. Because for me, I don't want a man that talks over me. I can't stand that. But sometimes you'll settle when you feel like it's something small. Well, I can get him out of that. No, you cannot.
Mm-mm.
If a person has been one way their whole life, it's very slim chance that they're gonna change for you.
That's right. That's a habit.
Yeah, it's just a part of their personality at this point. But what you said is very crucial. Pay attention to the red flags. And I even say pay attention to the yellow flags. Because the yellow flag indicates there's a red flag somewhere. You just ain't seen it yet.
Right. It's mass now.
Definitely pay attention to the red ones because I mean, I had a guy tell me this was a huge red flag for me. I was like, boy, bye. With a big old capital BYE, bye. Had the nerve to say to me, I like your profile and everything, and I think you're a beautiful woman, but if you was to be with me, you can't be wearing makeup. Boy, bye. Okay. I'm a damn near 50 years old. And
Right.
I've been doing this most of my life. Don't come into my life and feel like you're gonna change who I am.
Right.
That's a
Right. Say
flag.
that again. Yeah,
Yeah,
it absolutely it's a narcissistic red flag.
yes, it is because they feel like it's all about them and what they want.
Right? Right.
So
Right.
you got to pay attention because the it's slim pickings out here. So you really got to pay attention to red flags. You can't settle. You have to stick to your guns. And what was the other thing we said? Don't lower your standards. But I think that's the same as don't settle.
Absolutely don't settle. We're
And
not
don't.
we're not meant to settle.
I got another one. This one ain't for everybody, y'all. So don't be mad at me about this tip. This tip is only for certain people. Okay. And you know who you are once I give you this tip. Don't let loneliness or horniness let you end up with the wrong person. Go on and get you a
Right.
maintenance man or a maintenance woman. And as long as everybody's aware of what this is and everybody's safe and healthy and consenting adults, you should be fine. But the person needs to know what it is. We're just maintaining each other's physical needs, but this is not a relationship.
Right.
So for some people, it works having a maintenance man. Now, I'm not going to even much sit up here in front and act like I never had a maintenance man because I had a maintenance man, but he knew what it was from the go. I told him straight up, I just got divorced. I ain't looking for a relationship, but I'm going to need some every now and again. Okay. It makes me a better person. So I'm gonna need some maintenance. And
Oh wow.
he was like, oh, of course I could be your maintenance man. But then after about 2 months, he like, look, hold on, where you was at last night? Hold on, boo boo. You're not my man.
Yes, in his mind he was.
Yes, sir, you're a maintenance man. So you maintain my physical needs, but we're not in a relationship, so you don't need to know where I was at.
Right.
This is a tip for people who really have a high sex drive, because I don't want people to feel bad because they're a sex drive. Because some people have a higher sex drive than others. You shouldn't feel ashamed of that.
Right.
And you shouldn't be made to feel bad for that. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you do have a sex drive, a high sex drive, and you thrive off physical touch, it's one of your high love languages, and you need it, don't be around here, with a stank face, snapping at everybody, road rage. Just go and get you a maintenance man, honey.
He said road rage.
Get your
Right.
And I'm really talking to a lot of y'all church folks, because some of y'all need to have your back blown out. Okay, you need him to knock the bottom out of it, because y'all mean as a rattlesnake, and you ain't had none in too long. I'm just gonna go on and let you know. Get you a man. Okay, that's my final tip, because I have met a lot of people who ended up getting a divorce because they married somebody because of a sexual need. Don't do that.
Right.
You don't have to do that in this modern time. Just have an agreement, have an arrangement. Get you a maintenance or a woman, maintenance person. Get you a maintenance person to fulfill your physical needs, but make sure that everybody knows what's going on. So if you're just tuning in, we don't want you to think we sit up here talking about maintenance men all the whole hour. We're talking about how hookup culture have redefined dating. And if you want to catch up, you can always go back and watch this episode again. You can catch us on a replay. And you can also listen on all podcast platforms to this episode. So we are going to revisit this. Don't worry. We're going to revisit this. And if you are a male and you have access to a phone, laptop, or computer or tablet, you can join us. You can just, we will send you the code. You can log into our virtual studio, and you can be a guest on the show to talk about your feelings about hookup culture and how it has redefined dating. Because I do believe in my heart that there are people out there that's still looking for love.
Right.
What do you
Absolutely. I do. I'm one of them. So
think? I'm one of them too. And if you're single, hello. And you looking at your girl, you saying, "Ooh, I don't mind that. She could be my queen." Holla at your girl. And I'm old fashioned. I like to be taken out on dates. I
right.
like to be wined and dined.
Doors open, food paid for by yourself.
Yes, and it will be worth your while. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just because we like the material. I don't know what y'all been dealing with out there, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time that we are wifey material, and I can't be bothered with a boyfriend. That's just not. And
Absolutely not.
it's not in the cards for me, darling. I'm wifey.
Absolutely not. So am I. So am I.
So anyway, we reached our time. I knew this was going to go by fast because I had so much to talk about. I thank you so much for joining me, T Baby. I hope that you would join in as we continue to talk about this. The next episode, I want to give some examples on dating disasters. You guys have no idea how bad it is out there, okay? It is bad. Dating disasters. We're going to talk about that and how to avoid dating disasters, because again, like T Baby said, the signs are there. The red usually there. So all right, you guys, we're going to be at a press event. If you're Houston and surrounding areas, there is a press event tomorrow presented by Loud Music, and we are going to be there. So, Miss Mimi said that'll be interesting. Okay, come on, Miss Mimi, you can get it. You can get in on this show. The next one is dating disasters, because I'm sure you got a few stories too. Who don't? Okay.
All right.
If you ever participated in online dating, you already know. You didn't have somebody show up to the date and you like, is you the daddy? Because we was about 20 years older than the picture I saw. So what's going on here?
Right.
That happened to me. Or I showed up on a date. I ain't trying to give y'all all the dating disasters on this episode, but this one is funny. and the dude was about 200 pounds heavier than his picture. And I'm like, who the hell are you? You look familiar to the guy in the picture, but you big. So what happened? Oh yeah, that was an old picture. Oh, okay, bye-bye. Cause see, I ain't against it, but I need to know ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta wade through some stomachs, I need to know that ahead of time. Cause that's a lot of activity. You gotta wade through some stomachs to get to the goods. I mean, so I need to know what. Yeah, you can't just bring that on somebody. I'm just saying. So,
Miriam, what? WTF?
Yes. If you guys have some dating disasters that you don't personally want to share, but you want us to share for you, just email us at booking@stunnerradio.com and put in the subject line dating disasters, and trust and believe we will tell the world about it on your behalf.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you close it out, T baby. Anything you want to say? Any last words?
When you sign up on these apps, if you genuinely do not want a relationship and you don't have a place to take pictures, please don't let all the pictures be in your car. I'm just saying. Let's be realistic. There's so many free places to take pictures, and you have a phone. All phones have a camera on it. Ask your friends to take your pictures. Open your mouth. I need you to smile because we need to see the grill.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna need you to see the teeth. I'm gonna need to see the teeth because I have mine. I'm smiling on mine. I'm giving full body pictures. Please, and men, please have a full body picture.
Because they got the nerve to be telling us ladies have full body pictures, and some of them don't have a full body picture.
They got theirs right here, and don't have these females in your picture, and there's no discretionary of who these people are. We don't know if that's your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, you know,
your daughter.
We don't know who the person is, and if you don't have to have pictures with your friends all the time. We need to know which one is you.
Listen, and I keep it all the way 100, because first of all, some of you older men with fine sons, don't put your son in the picture, because I'm sending you a message like, "What's up with your son?"
Right.
I'm looking at your son.
I done passed you over. Let me talk to the one on the left.
Yes. Some of them I have seen where they have pictures with their homeboy, and I'm like, "What a homeboy at?"
Right. And then they get mad. Well, you invited him to the party because you had a picture with them. Oh, yeah. You say all the bathroom pictures, too many others. Yes. Yes, Miriam. The bathroom pictures is not cool.
Stop taking pictures with wedding bands on. Ooh, that's a good one, Miss Mimi. Now I haven't really seen too many wedding bands in profile pictures or any pictures on a profile. I have seen with other women. I have seen with kids. I've seen some pictures with some fine sons, and I'm like, oh boy, I know we can't get together, because I'm gonna be like, we're Junior. What Junior?
And don't take your picture like this.
I was just getting ready to say that. Do not be like this.
Yes. What you said? I can't hear you, huh?
It's like, sir, back up. Back up. That is really good information and good advice, because the fact of the matter is, online dating it's the norm now. It's not like it used to be. It used to be, people that was weirdos or, strangers, lonely people. They do online dating. But now it's the norm just for everybody. Everybody is forced to date online now. Right. So we need to learn certain etiquette, and that's another thing that we can discuss with dating disasters: online dating etiquette, because y'all know it's etiquette to everything.
Right. Definitely. That's why they have a questionnaire.
Yeah, they do have a questionnaire, but don't you hate the people that don't fill it out?
They're impatient. They don't sit down and take the time to actually fill it out. And that's a disservice to yourself and to the person that's swiping, because
And
now
then
you
they
swipe
don't read, so they asking you stuff that's in your profile, and
that part.
clearly you didn't read my profile. You know,
But they do that in text too. How you doing? I'm fine. Well, how you doing? Huh?
oh yes, I'm fine, and you? I'm good. How you doing? I just said I'm fine. It's weird, but that's what I talked about before. A consequence of hookup culture. People don't even know how to talk to each other anymore. So,
Yeah.
we had to have conversations with each other. So we would find something in common. Either we like the same band or the same, songs, the same sports team, or, from the same neighborhood. We would just try to find something in common so that we have something to talk about.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But you had more in common then because you actually had to be out. You either met somebody at a concert, you met them at a restaurant, you met them at the park, because summertime is when you meet. Most people come home from college, or they come home, they're out at camps, and it was a different meeting medium at that time when you were younger. You know,
Yeah.
you were always out. And so now that this pandemic came into play, it kind of unveiled some inconsistencies with how people communicate with one another.
Ooh, that is a very good point because that is so true. It forced us to see
Mhm.
that people don't really have real conversations anymore.
Nope.
You can
Nope.
literally tell somebody something, and then 5 minutes later they ask you a question, and you just told them.
That's right. The attention span
Yeah,
is it's really short now.
if you say, "Oh, I'll call you. I gotta do my show at 7," and then later they say, "What you doing tonight?" Told you. I just told you. So it's annoying. It's like, are you listening? What are you doing?
They're not listening. They're not listening. They're distracted. They're disinterested. And so it makes you start back. For me, it makes me start backing up, because if I have to tell you 2 or 3 times of what I've already told you, we're not compatible.
Okay, that part. We are not compatible because you can't even listen. I don't like a person that's not a good listener. So, I mean, I really want to deal with this because as we get closer to the holidays, I also want to talk about dating during the holidays because it can be kind of messy. When you meet someone around this time of the year, it's always a question of, do we include each other in our holiday plans, or do we wait until we know each other a little better? And for me, I prefer to wait because I don't like going around nobody family. And
Right.
then what happened to Latricia? What happened to someone? It's like, hold on. You see me sitting right here. Ask him that when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask him that in my face. Ask him that when I'm gone. Because Lisa here now. So ain't much worry about her. You know what I'm saying? Or they try to use you as a buffer. I can't stand my mama, so can you come? Nope, I'm not
I'm not getting in the middle of that.
in the middle of that. So it's important to talk about these things when you meet someone. Don't just leave it up in the air because then your feelings get hurt if they don't invite you to the family dinner or they don't buy you nothing for Christmas or whatever. So when you
Right.
meet someone around this time of the year, you got to talk about that. You got to say out in the open, like, okay, so how are we going to handle the holidays?
Right.
Mhm. Uncouth
Uncouth. Yeah.
very uncouth people. I hate that. I hate that too. But we are seeing, like T Baby said, the pandemic exposed a lot of things. It exposed the fact that families are not together that much anymore, and people are not being taught just basic social graces.
Yes, exactly. Say that again.
There's
Yes.
basic things that are social norms that you just know you do, and there's certain things you don't do.
Right. And yeah, they need to have those conversations with the young folks that they're raising, you know. There's a certain way that you enter a room, there's a certain way that you speak to people. You don't address them if you don't when they're an authority, you address them by their last name, not their first name.
Right, especially if you're new on the scene and you don't know them like that. You
Right.
definitely be like, "Hey, Linda," to somebody, mama. No, honey, I don't care how old you are. You
Right.
need to, you need to have proper respect. But one thing I wanted to mention is that in preparation for this show, I read an article that stated that younger people are getting away from hookup culture, and now older people are stuck in it. And
Mm,
I really believe that you can
right,
see the shift happening. Younger people are choosing not to have kids young. They choosing their careers and they're choosing to figure
right,
out their life first. So they
right.
want a partner. They don't want to just hook up. Now, the old people in our age group, I ain't gonna say old, but older, have gotten into this hookup culture. Now we stuck.
They
And
suck.
so
I'm not.
they stuck. That's part. Because I'd be damned. I'd rather be an old maid than to be, sitting up here going from
Right,
man to man, just hooking up. I just refuse to do that. I'm not going to do that.
right,
So, that is the article that I read, and I was really kind of shocked by it. I was like, wow. So, dating sites like OkCupid, and it's another Tinder. It's another one that's really known for hookups. They said they have noticed that more of the young people on the site are looking for meaningful relationships now,
right.
especially post pandemic. They're looking for meaningful relationships, but then you have the older people that still out here trying to just hook up with each other.
Yes, and
So,
I've seen that quite. I see that a lot.
yes, so
Thing
I
is casual.
I really want to get like I said before, if you know someone, if you're a man listening or watching, or if you listen to the replay, reach out to us if you would like to give your opinion. Because I think sometimes what happens in modern dating is we trying so hard not to offend each other that people do what they think you want them to do.
Right.
So
Say
they
that
feel
again.
if I don't try to have sex with her, she might think I don't like her.
Right.
Or a woman, if I don't try to give him some, he might think, I'm not interested in him.
Right.
I think we just need to communicate as a whole. Men and women need to communicate more
Right.
and open up to what we really want. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
Because I don't know.
it's
Because one thing I do know is once you get past 45, I don't think you there yet, T baby. But once you get past 45,
I'll be there in
you
like a second.
you'll be there too. Your sex drive get high, and you be like, why you do this, Lord? Because half the men can't get it up no more. Why you do this to me, Jesus? I mean, my sex drive, and most of the men got to take the little blue pill. Or most of the men just want to hook up, and I don't need to be jumping from bed to bed. I need ready, steady. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Steady love.
Yeah, steady love. That's what we
Yeah.
need. So anyway, we can talk about this all night, but I thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I have been so just overwhelmed with some of the feedback from some of the past episodes. I'm happy that you guys are liking the new direction that I'm taking with Lisa Denae Live. And please continue to give me the feedback, because this is what helps me to know what type of content you want to see and you want to hear from us here at Stunner Radio. So I encourage you that if you enjoyed this episode, or if you would like to join us on a future episode, please reach out to us. It is booking@stunnerradio.com, or you can reach out to myself on Instagram at Lisa Denae. T Baby is at Tanisha Shanette.
Mhm.
Is
On
that right? On Instagram. And then we are also at Black Coffee with a Side of Tea on Instagram. So please reach out to us, you guys. And until next week, all I can say is life is too short for bad sex. And always remember, no matter what you do the most. Unless you're trying to lie to somebody and be mosting.
Right.
You guys, see you next week.
Bye.